Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about one of our prized pieces of metal shaping equipment. This is our Pettingill #1 power hammer. This power hammer is very special to me, not only because of what it is, but because it has a lot of really neat history that is tied to the city of Cincinnati. As far as we can tell, the hammer was purchased from the Pettingill Machine Company in Amesbury, Massachusetts, sometime in between 1909 and 1913. We came up with those dates by talking to Hans Salling, who now owns the Pettingill Machine Company and is still producing Pettingell Power hammers today. Through our talks, we decided on those dates because in 1909 is when the #1 went into production, and up until 1914 the main shaft caps had no threaded provision for oil cups. Our machine did not have any of those, only a drip hole for the oiling, so we feel relatively comfortable on our age range for this hammer.
The success of Pettingill's automatic hammer that set this super high industry standard was the result of a group of local businessmen and Pettingill employees that were all led by a guy named Albert G. Bella. Albert got everyone together and they purchased the company around 1905, and they set out to design and build new metal finishing machines for the burgeoning automobile bodybuilders at the time. The automatic power hammer became their most successful machine, and it literally changed the entire metal shaping industry for years and years to come.
The hammer was originally purchased by the E.A. Kinsey Machinery Company of Cincinnati, Ohio. They dealt in a lot of industrial machine sales and distribution all across the United States. Then it was sold to the Bellevue Brewing Company in downtown Cincinnati. We can only assume the brewing company had purchased the hammer to make or repair their own brew pots or kettles in-house instead of farming them out to another shop. But the hammer's time being used in the brewing industry was short-lived. The Bellevue Brewing Company closed its door in 1919 due to the prohibition of alcohol. The Bellevue Brewing Company was the first Cincinnati brewery to close due to prohibition. I really don't have an exact timeline on just how long the brewery sat empty, but the hammer remained inside, still attached to the main support beam of the building. So sometime, I'm guessing in the 1930s or 1940s, the Reliance Art Metal Company moved in to the brewery building. They specialized in architectural steelwork and decorative railings, so I really don't think they had much of a use for the hammer, but it still remained hanging in the building. After many years, the Reliance Art Metal Company also closed and the building sat vacant. And this is where I come into the picture. I was contacted about any information on the manufacturer or history of the machine that I could provide. It was at that time that I expressed my interest in buying the hammer if it ever became available. After 6 months of negotiating, a price was agreed upon and we were finally able to buy the hammer. I really find it so amazing that this hammer was able to hang in the same place, presumably since new, for over 100 years, basically untouched since the Bellevue Brewing Company closed its doors. Imagine all the things this power hammer could tell us if it was able to talk, the things it had seen in history come and go.
Echoes of Cincinnati's rich machining tool past can still be heard and seen. While it's unfortunate many of the Queen City's factories are long gone, craftsmen like Mike Wagner at Cornfield Customs strive to save some of the tooling used in Cincinnati, and in some cases can put them back into use. By doing this, future generations can get a first-hand look at the past, at machines their grandparents might have used, and literally get to see and feel how they operate. And it's like having a time machine when you see one of these old machines actually being used, and you get to hear it and feel it, and you can feel it shaking the ground, and you know it's just a piece from decades ago, from a time long forgotten, that is still very useful and stands the test of time.